These are some sample drills that we used at a recent Front Range Volleyball practice. And, we generally start with some form of ball handling and trying to get players to move. So what we did in this just overhead passing drill is players, after they released the ball, they had to take 2 steps forward, 2 steps backward, or 2 steps side to side, just so they're not setting and standing, which you see so often during ball handling drills. So, the challenge for all of us is to get our players to move their feet, and also, work on a low posture. So what we did here was we had the players do bear walks to force them into a lower posture, and the coach would just move forward, and at every 2 or 3 steps they toss the ball in front of them, and the player would have to take a long last step and just roll through the ball. So they're working on rolling from a low posture, which is something that's learned. Now, as you go through these, all these players are a work in progress, to say the least, when it comes to the rolling. And I think the biggest mistake they're making is when they start the roll, they don't take a long step. So as you're doing your bear walk, or even if you're rolling, running to the ball, your last step is a long step to get your hips down to the ground and initiate the rolling action. In this drill, again, we're working a little bit on blocking, obviously, but we're also working on recovering. So we want the players to display good footwork going out to the ball, and then the coach puts the ball into their hands where they can block it, so they're reaching over the net and trying to stuff it. Or they'll put the ball over the top of the player where they have to land, hopefully drop their hips, and then play the ball. So many players will land from blocking and they stay high and they're not ready for the next play. So, the coach can either, like I said, put the ball into their hand and have the player, drive the ball down, or put the ball over their hand where they have to recover. Or sometimes you can duck under the net and kind of throw it into the net where they have to, adjust to, a random play, which happens so often. So this is a good drill both to work on blocking mechanics and footwork, but also work on landing posture and making that unexpected play. This next drill, again, is with the idea of talking and moving, and working on overhead passing skills. You're playing 6-on-6, and you get one touch, and it has to be overhead, and you're trying to score points. So we are keeping score on this, and this is a great drill, for the already listed reasons of moving and talking. But it's also, you start finding out inside of a team, kind of the competitive personality of either players or the group collective. When your team first starts this drill, it's kind of bad at back and forth, but your competitive types will start putting it to, specific court locations or to a bad ball handler with the idea of, I can score points this way. So it's a interesting drill to get people talking and moving, but then also competing for points and seeing if they can discover a way to score. This is a 5-on-5 deep hit drill, and when your team puts the ball over the net, they rotate, and we have whomever rotates to right front will be the setter. So as you can see, as these points unfold, there's dig, there's set, there's swing, and then everybody has to rotate. And again, it forces the players to not only play the game and work on their skills and that type of thing, but they also have to be engaged enough to know that we need to rotate when the ball goes back over the net. So everybody gets to dig and set and hit, and in that regard, it's a good lead-up, warm-up type activity. And again, we keep score on this because we want people to be competing for points all the time. This is a really good drill for the people who don't play back row a lot or don't handle the ball a lot. So as you can see here, we stopped the drill because the young lady that was setting the ball was just setting it way too high for it to be an easy ball to hit. So he stopped the drill, and you can do this all the time, and try to isolate skills where I'm trying to get her to set the ball a little bit lower and make it an easier ball to hit, as you could see there. So again, this is a drill where everybody gets to work, or maybe I should phrase it, is forced to work on all aspects of their game. There's no subbing, and you have to be able to pass, set, dig, hit, And in that regard, it's a great drill to get people ready for practice. In this next drill, we put an antenna about maybe 3 feet apart, blocking the opposing or the opposite left front hitter. And it's hard to see the antenna, but basically it's as far apart as 2 blockers will be. So you can see the blockers are already camping themselves in front of the left front hitter. And we ask the hitter to put the ball between the antenna. So a couple things that we're working on is after the ball first of all, the hitter, they have to learn how to hit shots. And the shot we're really trying to hit is a ball that goes high off the blocker's hands or off the blocker's hands and tool the outside blocker. But they try to work on using the block to help them score. So anything that's low seam or low to the net should get blocked. In that regard, her teammates have to cover her. So we're working on hitter coverage. The first swing attacker is working on hitting against 2 blockers and having to find a way to score. After the ball goes over the net on the first swing, if there's a rally, then the setters can set whomever they want, as you can see here. But as you also notice, we're starting the rally with the coach tossing a perfect set to left front and giving her a chance to find a way to score. And like you see there, high off the top of the block is what we're working on. Most players will have trouble because they tend to hit the ball to center back a lot. And what we really want the outside hitter to do on the first swing is hit the ball high off the outside blocker and get a deflection towards the corner, or hit high off the middle blocker's inside hand and get a different deflection. High seam that goes right to center back, we're trying to avoid if we can. But that's not the worst mistake in the world. The worst mistake is bringing the ball down to the net and getting stuffed. So this is a good both defensive transition drill. It's a good drill for your outside hitters to work on hitting against a solid 2-person block. And then after the ball is dug or when the ball is dug, then you work on your transition offense and dig to kill and that type of thing. And again, we want to try and keep score on this where the hitter gets a chance to score points. The defense will score double points if they can dig to swing and get a point off of the defensive transition. This is the same type of drill. We took out the antenna, and now I want the middle blockers to move a long way before they go to block. So as you can see, I have them start on me, and then they've got to go 20 feet, 25 feet, and try to get up and present a good block. So it forces the middle blocker to move a long way and take big steps and try to get up and take out some space. And then again, we dig around that. We try to go from dig to kill. Now, in both in this drill and in the last drill, you can certainly have your setter entering the ball as opposed to a coach. It depends on your team and your team's abilities and that type of thing. So there's no right or wrong. One of the reasons that I'm tossing the first ball is just, if nothing else, for safety purposes, to make sure that the hitter's getting a good swing and the blockers can work on and blocking and not worrying about somebody coming in under the net. So that's the reason that I'm tossing right now. But certainly you can put a setter there, and if you have the right personnel, that's certainly the ideal way to go about it. In this next drill, it's just offensive and defensive system play. So we have coaches on either side, and what we do is the same side will receive 5 free balls in a row. So it gives you a good chance to work on your free ball offense, incorporating your middles quite a bit, and just work on what we're doing both in terms of defending the free ball, but also after we get a free ball, what kind of combo plays are we running, or what are we doing with our offense from a free ball? You'll notice that generally we try to get the players to put the ball over in a free ball fashion. One of the things I think players can embrace is the fact that even though you're given a free ball, you can still be somewhat offensive. You can put it to the middle hitter, or you can put it to where the setter maybe released from right back. So that's why we try to, even though we're given a free ball, have the players implement the free ball, and then they can see if they can put a little bit of pressure. I mean, obviously it's a free ball, so you're somewhat limited on what you can do. But, you can still, even though you're giving the other team a free ball, do something with it to stress out the other team a little bit. So this is just kind of a drill to incorporate all facets of the game, and to again, like we said, work on your side-out offense and some setting reps, and then defending against a free ball, which in theory should be challenging. The team that's swinging should score quite a bit. So, but it gives your defensive team a chance to get a lot of reps in an attempt to stop the free ball.